We got a blockbuster. Okay, here we go, man. Hey, Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets. Can the Nets win without Kyrie Irving? Let's talk about it. Hey, man, the Brooklyn Nets might have sent our boy Kyrie Irving to the 76ers for a blockbuster trade for Ben Simmons. Hey, a Simmons-Irie swap would make the most sense from a basketball perspective, even if they are in the same conference and they're going to be contenders. Hey, will this trade happen? Let's talk. So why can't this trade happen? Kyrie could have ended up in Philly. Smith said Wednesday on the First Take. There is no indication that Philadelphia 76ers have explored a potential Ben Simmons or Kyrie Irving with the Brooklyn Nets. Mark Stein said. And the Nets Kyrie Irving, who is yet to be vaccinated against the coronavirus, the big COVID. That has listed him ineligible for the team during the preseason game, especially at home. And everyone, against the former champs, well, the now champs, Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sorry for disrespecting y'all. And it is likely he will be missing a game opener against the Milwaukee Bucks. And according to several reports, he will not be playing any home games. And the Nets are considering trading him for Ben Simmons at this point. Read. Meanwhile, the 76ers were dealing with their own star related to a headache with that boy refusing to return or report to training camp. And he's trying to force Philadelphia to trade him. So could an Irving Simmons actually happen? Could it be a swap? Will there be problems? Perhaps. The 76ers need to make more room for the perimeter on side of that as well and take pressure off Joel Embiid while freeing up some space inside, of course. And Kyrie Irving averaged 27 points per game last year on 40% shooting from deep in 10, and he's one of the best shooters and shot creators in the sport of basketball, man. The 7-time NBA All-Star will give the 76ers a feared inside-out tandem that represents some of the most incredible players in the league if they embodied in a person like Steph. And then you get a guy like Kyrie Irving. Meanwhile, he is the cheat code. And on top of that, though, when you look at the Nets, they already have two of the most dynamic, iconic, elite scorers in the whole entire world. And Durant and James "the Beard" Harden, Simmons will prove to be much needed help on that end of the court, considering he's earned a nice little all-defensive honors over the last couple years. He's a great defender, man. And the team could use a 3-time All-Star as well, and he can do it all, but he doesn't shoot at all, so he wouldn't necessarily be a scoring option. However, Ben Simmons, and these trade rumors, and once they begin, suggested that, Irving and his agent might have made it clear that the team might be able to get him a trade. But at this point, Kyrie Irving is playing hardball all the way around. And peep this, man, he even threatened to retire if he get traded. Listen, man, retire from the whole entire NBA instead of get vaccinated. Hey, that's a heavy choice. And there's also a fact that the team has built everything around Kevin Durant. And by Irving, kind of playing hardball, James Harden is another super player they have as well. So they believe they can actually win a championship with these two guys alone, especially if they put the right pieces around them. Read. So that goes back to my question. Can the Nets win without Kyrie Irving? Here's a quote. But that's always tough when guys are in and out of the lineup, especially a starter like Kyrie. That's what Kevin Durant said. Hey, we want to hear from games, home games, practice, away games, shoot around, all of it. Hopefully we can figure things out. And next, general manager Sean Marks couldn't. He couldn't even. You can tell he's pissed, man. Read this tweet. I assure you, if it weren't for Kevin Durant, the Brooklyn Nets would have been interested in making a deal. Yeah, man, they've been fed up with this guy for a long time, man, especially when he be taking this little hiatus. Although the Nets would prefer to have their big three together, fully intact, they are well in position to actually get rid of him and move him to another squad. Instead, he's going to be looking at missing some extensive times. And on top of that, just more of a distraction, man. So Brooklyn boasted the NBA's top rank of offense despite all of those injuries they had last year with Kevin Durant and James Harden being out with that hammy, you know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't for that, I think they would have won the NBA championship last year. So, they have enough guys who can handle greater responsibilities. And during the offseason, that's added another guy, and Patty Mills, a veteran, and Javon Carter to fill out the deep backcourt. And I repeat, do not sleep on rookie Cam Thomas. This boy is an impressive scorer. He's a natural scorer, and he's showing so many great signs during the preseason. And I think he's going to be one of those guys. I think he's going to average 17 points next year. That's just me. If they get rid of Kyrie, he can average 16 to 17 points as a rookie. That's how good he is. But hey, we're talking about Kyrie. How good is he? You think they should let him go that easy? I don't know, man. That's Uncle Drew. Yeah, so if Irving does what he does, he's gonna do what he do. Yeah, that's Kyrie Irving for you. He's a sage, and he has the franchise captive at this point. Yeah, so in this case, despite having 2 stabilizing Hall of Famers on board, Brooklyn Nets could identify themselves as being indistinguishable from that 3rd star at this point. But hey, we're gonna see what happens, because the boy Kyrie obviously turns basketball to a free-breaking joyride. Yeah, but anyway, man, he's a ball kid. He's a ball kid. He averaged 27 points per game last year on 54 games in the past season. Yeah, the 2nd most he's ever scored during the tenure of his career. Yeah, man, the other year he averaged 27.5. The year before that it was 26.9. And that was his 1st season with the Nets. And he also dished out 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.4 steals per night. Even more impressive, that boy's efficient. He's a nice, efficient scorer. Nice and tight. And he became only one of 9 players to finish the season with 50, 40, and 90 from the free throw line. And when it comes to dribbling that basketball, that boy got patty pass for days, man. Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest basketball players who can handle the rock of all time, man. You know, you got guys like Isaiah Thomas, Steve Nash, just to name a few, but he's up there, man. And the rest of the NBA agrees. Here's a quote. Read, Mo. Hey, hands down, Kyrie has the best ball handling that we've ever seen in our league. That's Paul Millsap. Oh, yeah, like we really care. All right, man. Hey, peep some highlights. But on top of that, man, we're going to move on. Hey, how good is Ben Simmons? At 25 years old, hey, virtually the NBA should want to acquire a guy like Benny Simmons. His shortcomings offensively have been made public. We all know that. Hey, and that's, yeah, we saw that in the playoffs last year, and he was quite scary. He was like a deer in the headlights, yo, throughout the whole entire postseason. But, hey, it's still a lot to like about this player, man. Hey, Ben Simmons is electric on the basketball court with his ability to start a break off a rebound. He's a great playmaker, of course. Hey, man, he can get to the basket and score whenever he wants to. He can finish around the rim with authority. I don't know why he don't do more of that. But, hey, it's his defense where he's earning his keep. Simmons might be the best defender in the NBA from the wing standpoint, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, he is 6'11". So, yeah, wing guys, he might be the best. Nah. Yeah, well, okay. He hasn't taken the mantle from Draymond Green just yet, but sooner or later, hey, he will. Hey, with the combination of size, athleticism, he is virtually rivaled by no one at this point. He can defend anybody on the basketball court, and even center successfully. Lockdown defense will help most teams, yeah. And he's a legit game changer on that end of the court. And if he figured things out offensively with his jump shot, he may be one of the best two-way players in the league with his ability. But besides, you know, there's been rumors between the Kings and the Sixers on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons wouldn't have a problem with that trade to Sacramento with the Kings. Hey, that's been a rumored landing spot for him for a while at this point. But the Kings have been pretty hesitant about giving up DeAndre Fox in that deal. They really like the young fella, and he's tough, man. He doesn't get enough credit, man. He's good. So a trade for Ben Simmons is seen as a way for Sacramento to improve their defense, but I don't think so. There are plenty of teams that would love to have a boy like that on their roster, speaking of Simmons. Despite his shortcomings offensively, he's still an elite player in so many different areas, and he can help plenty of teams. So let's see how this trade finishes, y'all. Leave your comments below, man. Hey, it's the NBA show, man. Tap in.